Childhood Education Month launch with an announcement by Education Minister Octavia Alfred. In news from the region, Guyanese nationals gain visa-free access to British Virgin Islands. And internationally, Kamala Harris addresses the nation for the first time since Donald Trump's decisive election victory. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
DBS News.
Welcome back. Education Minister Octavia Alfred says a plan to establish early childhood centers at primary schools is well underway. A statement comes as Dominica observes Early Childhood Month under the theme Pei Nu Kadunu Tizafanu.
61% of all government-owned primary schools now have pre-kindergarten. All primary schools which are being rehabilitated or constructed have modern early childhood centers. This month, we will establish a government-owned pre-kindergarten at Kulibistri. The new pre-kindergarten at the Baroness Patricia Scotland Primary School in Vickers, which was constructed by the Maria Holder Memorial Trust, will be opened later this month. We have refurbished 4 pre-kindergartens and we have established new centers at Salibia under the OECS Pearl Initiative. Presently, 31 pre-kindergarten teachers are engaged in professional development as we work towards building the capacity of our early childhood educators. On behalf of the Government of Dominica, the Ministry of Education thanks all our partners who collaborate with us to ensure that we provide quality early childhood education to our children. We thank the Maria Holder Memorial Trust for continued support in constructing new pre-kindergartens around the island. We extend gratitude and appreciation to our valued parents, caregivers, and educators. 61% of all
Minister for Education Octavia Alfred. She says Eat Potato Day, scheduled for November 18th, is among activities for the month.
Many of the activities this month will be observed at the early childhood centers. We began with our district church service. This weekend, we are asking that all churches give special recognition and special blessings to our children. Students and their families will engage in field trips. Family Focus Week provides an opportunity for greater engagement of the family in our programs. This year, our food is potato. Eat Potato Day is on Monday, 18th November. On International Men's Day, which is November 19th, significant male adults in the children's lives are invited to interact with them at their centers. Community Outreach Day teaches our children from this tender age to look out for and to help those in need. To help children and their parents appreciate physical activity as part of being healthy, Belle Marché is on Friday, November 22nd. Our children are our heritage. Let us celebrate them. Let us celebrate with them. Let us make this early childhood month a memorable one as we celebrate the greatest gift, our children.
Minister for Education Octavia Alfred. Employees of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority embarked on action this morning, which saw them off the job as a result of the offloading and storage of cement, which poses a health threat. General Secretary of the Public Service Union, Thomas Later, says that matter has been discussed, but the employees continue to raise concerns that their health could be compromised.
The situation is that a lot of cement is being unloaded and stored and transported at the port, and that is a health issue to the staff working in close proximity to that area. So you have problem with when the vehicles are going out with the cement. It's a problem when they're being offloaded, when vehicles are being unloaded, I mean when the ships are being offloaded, and so on. So the staff has been talking to management on several occasions, and the matter was not improving. So this morning I was called in because the staff felt that enough was enough. I met the general manager or the CEO in discussion with the staff. So there was a meeting that started before myself and Brother Steve, the president of the union, arrived.
Mr. Later says the staff were to return to work this afternoon at 2 o'clock under certain conditions.
One was that within an hour and a half, I get a commitment in writing from management on certain things that were going to be done, that had to be done. And one of that was that PPEs would be provided to the staff. Personal protective equipment would have to be provided to them. That hosing of the area would have to be completed for the day. That he has also suggested that some containers be stacked up to a certain height so that I could control wind. That had to be done today. And also a commitment that every morning before work is taken up by the staff, that the area is hosed down. That between now and the time they return to work, that there will be no loading of vehicles with cement. So these were some of the things that we'll monitor the situation tomorrow to see whether the staff are more comfortable, and if not, then I will be meeting with the staff and we will decide what else we do.
General Secretary of the Public Service Union, Thomas Lita. President of Dominica, Her Excellency Savani Burton, says she is looking forward to exploring additional areas of cooperation between Dominica and the government of Canada. Dominica recently welcomed a new High Commissioner Designate of Canada, and the government of Canada was presented with Dominica's second highest award at the 2024 Independence Day observance ceremony. Her Excellency Burton says she looks forward to continued partnership between the two nations.
Dominica and the Caribbean continue to have a large diaspora community in Canada, and as a result, Dominicans and other Caribbean nationals continue to make significant contributions in all aspects of life in Canada, including the military. I note that your presence here today provides yet another invaluable opportunity for the exploration of additional areas of cooperation between our two countries. So we therefore look forward to Canada's continued support in combating the many challenges confronting small island development states, SIDS, more particularly the devastating effects of climate change, natural disasters, chronic non-communicable diseases, and poverty, not only in the Caribbean region, but globally.
President of Dominica, Her Excellency Savani Burton. Parliamentary representative for the Casibros constituency, Octavia Alfred, has hailed the late Leonard Papi Baptist as a visionary who saw opportunities in every challenge. The late former politician and businessman died at the age of 85. Alfred says he supported the farmers of Casibros by purchasing produce for the export market.
The entire Casibros constituency extends deepest condolences to the family of Mr. Leonard Baptist Papi. Papi was a Casibros man. Any document on the story of Casibros will include Papi's store in Gluglu and the rush of people to Casibros when Papi's boat returned to Dominica after delivering produce from Dominica to neighboring islands. He facilitated the farmers by buying for export their crops, foreign oils, and other products. Papi was a visionary. He saw opportunities in every challenge, and he took advantage of these opportunities. I guess he was born into that life, since his parents were business-minded people who owned a bakery and a shop. Papi also served as a leader in the religious field. He co-pastored a church, and he was a dynamic preacher and evangelist. We also know him for his political aspirations. Everything he did was with people on his mind and how to make life better for them. Cassibru's constituency is sorry for this loss, but the memories will always be topics for our discussion in the moonlight, during feast time, during church crusades, of course, during the political campaign season. We extend our deepest sympathy to his family.
Parliamentary representative for the Cassibru's constituency, Octavia Alfred, the late Leonard Papi Baptist, has been accorded an official funeral by the government of Dominica. In other news, Dominican truckers are raising new concerns over their engagement in transporting cement from Woodbridge Bay Port to the international project site. The truckers staged protest action at Canefield last month, calling on the authorities to provide them with employment. A meeting was held between truckers and Prime Minister Skerritt, where they reached an agreement. Treasurer of the Teepers Truckers Association, Anton Laville, says the quantity of cement offered to them for transportation to the airport site is unacceptable.
Today there was a situation on the port whereby some of the port workers went on strike, or they do some protest action. The reason being is that the cement being brought by the Chinese company CR5 to construct the international airport was causing a congestion on the port. Now the irony is that a few days back, Dominican Truckers Association staged a protest, and the reason being is that we figure that a lot of these big projects are being undertaken in this country. We are not buying part of it. We're not being employed. After the protest action, we had a conversation with the Prime Minister. He did give us a reasonable price to work with to carry the cement. We went to discuss with the developers, who are MMC, represented by Mr. Kalmurad. The quantity of cement that we were given, we were not satisfied with it. And it is so sad that the cement is on the port and the truckers have the capability of hauling it. That amount of cement on the port, we have enough trucks in Dominica to haul that in maybe a day or two. And this guy is making it very difficult for us. And it is sad that the Dominican people, the truckers, had to get tear gas in their own country, asking for something that is very simple, just for employment.
Treasurer of the Teeper Truckers Association, Anton Laville. On the feature segment of the DBS Evening News, we go to the community of Monrachet to find a hidden gem. Alvin Adrian, better known as Vino, started at work at the age of 11, living on the legacy of his late brother Cecil. 68-year-old Alvin Adrian shared an interesting story with DBS News of how he started at production.
My name is Alvin Adrian, better known as Vino. I'm from the village of Monrachet, and I'm an art producer for quite some time now. I do painting, designs, I do tie-dye, I do sculpture, I do artwork, I do all type of cushion, I just call him, to be frank. But Cecil was an artist before me, but he passed on. When he was 16, I was 11. So he drew Johnny Walker, and I was for quite some time. And one of my guys asked me, Alvin, o ka do ko sa ou son artist clickbait ki Cecil? Put you book on Johnny Walker. And I had to put into the test. I have a bigger picture of a Johnny Walker, which I have to show when the time is ready. And that's how it goes from now. And I still looking for some tourists to come by me, but as probably in a remote area, I hardly get any tourists to visit me, but I need some bus drivers to come and give me a setup that they can see my work and make some little change. To be frank now, my brother passed on 1966, so it's over 40-something years, I would say, and from there I still go on with the work. Mm-hmm.
Over 40-something years. Can you tell us how many sculptures and paintings have you done over these years?
Well, to be frank, I have done over 60-odd paintings and other little stuff. And I do a lot of t-shirts, I do signboards, I do I do cold pot, I do a lot of things. Tie-dye, all them things. I knew Earl as a painter artist, as a partner, but since he passed on, I always have his vision in my mind. But I was a student of Olin Bully at grammar school. But when I went to grammar school, I could have draw by that time. Well, I've been a creative guy, and I've got a lot of tools in my toolbox. I've got about 14 pieces of different items, so but I more or less in the art, the painting pussy.
Okay, I'm seeing something there. Could you just explain what this is?
Well, this is I've always heard of King Solomon having his throne to watch his concubines. So when the other come as some pieces of wood, I just put something together, and it looks like King Solomon's chair watching his concubines. Well, as you know, I'm from Monrochet. So when you pass through the Salisbury, past Battery Estate, before the bridge to Monrochet, you see right village, and I'm about 2 houses before the public convenience.
Arts producer Alvin Adrian, better known as Vino, from the community of Monrachet. And that's the National Focus, Regional and International Developments up next.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
DBS News.
In news from the region, the British Virgin Islands Cabinet has signed off on a provision to exempt Guyanese passport holders from requiring a visa to enter the territory. The exemption, which went into effect on November 1st, allows Guyanese passport holders to visit BVI for up to 6 months for business and leisure purposes. With this new exemption, Guyanese passport holders will have visa-free ETA or visa on arrival privileges to 91 countries. The process of removing Guyana from the list of countries that require visas to enter the British overseas territory began last year following a BVI trade mission to Georgetown. And internationally, Kamala Harris has called on Americans to accept the results of the elections. She made the statement while addressing the nation for the first time since Donald Trump's decisive election victory. Earlier, Harris called on Trump to concede the elections.
I am so proud of the race we ran and the way we ran it. Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now, but we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States.
Kamala Harris. And that's news. Up next, the DBS Evening Sports Report.
nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Welcome to the DBS Evening Sports Report. The series is on the line as the West Indies are taking on England in the third and final ODI in Barbados. The series is leveled at 1-1. We now join Joseph Fadul with the latest on this match.
Thank you very much, Layla Langford. We can tell you that the West Indies have been set a target of 264 for victory in the third and final one-day international ODI against England at Kensington Oval in Barbados. The Windies won the toss and elected to bowl first. They had England under pressure at 24 for 4 before Phil Salt led the England fight back. Salt got 74, Dan Mosley 57 and Sam Curran 40 as England got to 263 for 8 in their 50 overs. Matthew Ford picked up 3 for 35 and Alzari Joseph 2 for 45. Romario Shepherd picked up 2 for 33 and Ruston Chase 1 for 42. The West Indies are just beginning their run chase. We will keep you updated with the latest developments on that game. Leila, it's back to you.
Our thanks to Joseph Fadul for this report. Windward Islands Volcanoes captain Sunil Ambrose is calling on his players to back themselves if the team is to dig themselves out of the current situation in the regional Super 50 Overs tournament. The Volcanoes have lost 2 of their first 3 matches in the tournament. Ambrose says the players need to believe that they belong at this level.
I think we as a team, we need to do some soul searching. I mean, I can see guys trying really hard. But, I think guys need to believe themselves a little bit more. I mean, we have some new players here, so some guys who are relatively new. But, I think guys need to back their ability a little bit more. Trust their process. Do what they've been doing to get here. Not question themselves. No, and you spoke about the start. I mean, we haven't been able to start well for the entire tournament. That's both with bat and ball. I think that's something we really need to work on. Getting off to good starts, both with bat and ball. We've been playing some good cricket in patches, and I think once we play that good game, I don't think anybody would beat us. We seem to be beating ourselves, and I must take the blame for some of it. I mean, I got in today and got out. But I think once we keep it simple and do the right things for a lot longer, I think we're gonna be okay. But as I said, it's not up to me. I believe in myself, I believe in the guys. But it's up to us as an entire team to believe in ourselves, and that I think is of utmost importance.
Windward Islands Volcanoes captain Sunil Ambrose. The Volcanoes' next match is on Friday versus the Leeward Islands. The regional Super 50 Overs tournament continues on Thursday with Guyana playing Jamaica and the West Indies Academy taking on the defending champions Trinidad at 9 in the morning. Head coach of the men's beach volleyball team, Ray Robinson, is backing the team of Mervyn Mingo and Bill Clark Frederick to do well in the 8th stage of the Nausicaa Beach Volleyball Continental Tour. The team left state for El Salvador on Wednesday. The team of Mingo and Frederick captured gold earlier this year in the ECVA Beach Championships in St. Kitts. The tournament gets underway on Friday.
Dominica will be taking part in the 8th stage of the Nausicaa Continental Tour, which runs from November 7th to the 11th. It's another opportunity for the pair of Bill Frederick and Mervyn Mingo to showcase their skills and to gain some much needed experience. Coming off their win at the Under 21 ECVA Beach Volleyball Championship, this is just a chance for them to better their skills and to face tougher competition. It's also a preparation tournament for the senior ECVA tournament, which is going to take place in February of 2025. So again, it's all in the process of developing beach volleyball. This 8th stage will be held in El Salvador, and our participation was made possible through the generous contributions of the Dominica Olympic Committee. We presented a development plan to them and they embraced it, and this is just part of the development thrust of the DAVA, particularly in beach volleyball. We also plan on having teams take part in the 9th and 10th stage of the Continental Tour, which will be in Costa Rica and Trinidad.
Head coach of the men's beach volleyball team, Ray Robinson. International volleyball coach Brian Gavalas has rated his stint in Dominica as a success and says the future is bright for Dominica's volleyball. Gavalas has been working with the Volleyball Association on a 6-month stint. He has been working with the youth team's grassroots programs and coached the team to a 2nd place finish in the ECVA men's volleyball tournament.
I was very happy and impressed with the commitment of the athletes in terms of the training that we had scheduled. I was I was basically asked to want to train more than what we were scheduling from a lot of athletes, which is great, both on the men's side and the women's side. I respect so much the sacrifice that each individual has to make in order to get to training. The majority of our athletes are traveling long distances, 45-minute, hour drive, whatever the case is, from Marigot to Massac and then back, and that's while working during the day. So it's amazing the commitment that these athletes had to try to work and compete and to try to be one of the best in the ECVA.
International volleyball coach Brian Gavalas. South African Imran Tahir will lead the Guyana Amazon Warriors into battle as they get set for the inaugural ExxonMobil Guyana Global Super League. The tournament runs from 26 November to 7th December in Guyana. Tahir will be joined by fellow South African Dwayne Pretorius and English all-rounder Mohi Ali, US-based left-arm spinner Hassan Khan, and Bangladesh fast bowler Tazim Hassan Saqib round out their overseas signings. Guyana will also have West Indies ODI captain Shea Hope and batting all-rounder Ruston Chase as part of their lineup for the event. The full Guyana team is Imran Tahir, Mohi Ali, Shea Hope, Dwayne Pretorius, Hassan Khan, Tazim Hassan Saqib, Shimron Hetmeyer, Kimo Paul, Romario Shepherd, Ruston Chase, Mark Dial, Kevlon Anderson and Sharma Springer. Guyana will open their campaign against Lahore Qandas of Pakistan in their opening match on November 26. The winner of the tournament will walk away with $1 million. Organizers of the Creole Sports International Basketball Camp have hailed the event a success. The camp, which was held in Dominica last week, brought together student athletes from the French West Indies and Dominica for a week-long camp of basketball training and cultural exchanges. The camp was organized by Creole Sports International in partnership with Quahib Sports Developmente Durable and DA Next Sports Management.
We have guys from Martinique, guys from Guadeloupe, guys from Dominica, and it's a cultural exchange, and it's a different vision of basketball, and we have to put everybody speaking the same language, sports, basketball. It's supposed to be what they love. So we had a good investment, a good engagement from the kids, and it was really a great week, and I could start to see what we can improve on coaching and training the kids. That was a wonderful week. I can tell you that some kids came without some skills, and at the end of the stage of the camp, they learned something and they got better at something, maybe 2 or 3 different things. You got to keep working. So that's why we elaborate a plan. And after the first camp, I'm going to come once a month in Dominica and I'm going to set some assessment to the coaches. They have to work on it. And when I'm coming back again, I'm going to evaluate the kids, see if they work on this so we can move forward to the next step.
Basketball coach Leslie Bengaber. And that's how we end the DBS Evening Sports Report and news on behalf of the News and Sports Departments and our link person, Joseph Fadul. I am Leila Langford saying good evening.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other. For live streaming of funerals, call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. We begin with the evening edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements. It is the 6th day of November 2024. We announce the death of Norman Henry, age 85, of Maho. He died on Sunday, the 13th of October. He was the father of Rosebud, better known as Rosie, Brenda, Deborah, Mervyn, Michelle, and Kiana. He will also be remembered by his grandchildren, Curtis, Shane, Neil Royston, Chantel, Selena, Aaron, Rice, Amari, Talia, Rowan, Hidin, Kai, Omardo, and Kayla. 28 great-grandchildren including Neil, Shakim, Kane, Karaskai, Teje, and that should be Teja, Devonte, Cairo, and Fifi. 2 great-great-grandchildren, sisters Therese, Gloria, Myrtle, and Jeanette. Brothers Patrick, Megan, Kent, and Hasfor. 30 nieces including Ada and Jackie. 20 nephews including Kurtzton and Peter. In-laws Debbie, Avis, Ruthan, and Kenroy. close friends Eddie, Magdalene, and family. The body of the late Norman Henry of Maho can be viewed from 9:30 a.m. on Saturday, the 9th of November, at the Maho Gospel Tabernacle. The funeral service will take place at 10 a.m. and will be followed by interment at the Maho Public Cemetery. We announce the death of Ronna Louise, age 78, of Montrachet. She died on Friday, the 27th of September, at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. She was the wife of Alvin Louise. She was the mother of Daryl, Garth, Alina, and Alvin Jr. She will also be remembered by her grandchildren, Dylan, Michaela, Layla, Brittany, and Kayana, her sister Cyrilla, her brother Ronald, daughters-in-law Anya and Glenda, sisters-in-law Agnes, Maria, Marcella, Cecilia, Josephine, Shirley, Hilary, and Verna, brothers-in-law Desmond, Eustace, Clem, Tony, and Leonard, cousins including Doreen, her caregiver June Simon, nieces, nephews, cousins, and friends, names too numerous to mention. Friends, Sorinette Bruni, Petrolina Paul, Eamon De Freitas and their families, Abbott and Frances, Michael and Lillian Rodney, Tyron Gabriel, and Doreen Paul. The body of the late Ronna Louise of Montrachet will be transported from Lyndhurst Funeral Home for viewing from 2:30 p.m. on Friday, the 15th of November, at the Coolibri Street Catholic Church. The funeral mass will take place at 3 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Coolibri Street Catholic Cemetery. We announce the death of John Baptist James Greenaway, better known as Boo, Brother B, and Ion, age 72, of La Plaine, who resided in Canefield. He died on Thursday, the 24th of October, at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. He was the common-law husband of Glenda Graham. He was the father of Kim, Joel, Sherma, Stacy, Jamesy, and Miguel Greenaway. He will also be remembered by his grandchildren, Mandel, Haley, Brianna, Kiana, Ty, Ethan, Addie, Eloise, and Logan. 2 brothers, Cecil and Ralph Carbon. 9 nephews, 3 nieces, and 1 sister-in-law. The Graham, Carbon, and Seja families and many other friends and relatives from the Canefield, Massac, Fonkole, Grand Bay, La Plaine, and Despot communities, names too numerous to mention. The body of the late John Baptist James Greenaway, better known as Boo, Brother B, and Iron of La Plaine, who resided in Canefield, can be viewed from 1:30 p.m. on Thursday, the 7th of November, at the New Day Fellowship Church in Portersville. The funeral service will take place at 2 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Roseau Public Cemetery. The management and staff of DBS Radio, the nation station, extends deepest condolences to the family of the late Norman Henry of Maho, Ronna Louise of Montrachet, and John Baptist James Greenaway, better known as Boo, Brother B, and Iron of La Plaine, who resided in Canefield.
And now, your Community Bulletin Board.
Let's now present to you the general announcements on this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. The Dominica Essential Oils and Spices Cooperative Societies Limited, in collaboration with the Rotary Club of Dominica, will hold an educational meeting to facilitate the restoration of the bay oil distilleries, with all members and producers of bay oil from La Plaine, Boetica, and Dalis on Thursday, the 7th of November, at the Dalis Primary School from 4 p.m. Transportation arrangements will be made available for members from Boetica, La Plaine, and Dalis. Mr. Philip Geese will transport members from La Plaine and Boetica. Mr. Kennedy Williams will transport members from Dalis. Please be guided accordingly. The Viecas branch of the National Cooperative Credit Union will close at 2 p.m. on Thursday, the 7th of November, to facilitate a staff training. Please be guided accordingly. Members of the Marigot Cooperative Credit Union and the general public are informed of the following changes to the operating hours of the MCCU. Thursday, 7th November to Wednesday, 20th November, all offices of the MCCU will open from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. These changes are due to a system upgrade which will cause a disruption in operations. Management and staff apologize for any inconvenience which may be caused as a result and wish all a happy independence. MCCU, a beacon of hope serving the Northeast. A Eucharistic celebration will be held at the St. Martin's de Porres Church in Canefield on Thursday, the 7th of November from 6 p.m. Presider will be Father Raymond Francis from Trinidad, who during the celebration will be praying for healing. An invitation is extended to everyone as we seek God's mercy and pray for individual healing and also for our country. We've come to the end of this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. Thank you very much for joining us. The next edition is tomorrow morning from 6:10 a.m. with the morning edition of your death announcements. And then the Community Bulletin Board continues at approximately 7:35 a.m. with the morning edition of your general announcements. Don't forget to hear your announcements on DBS Radio, the nation station. You can come into the sales and marketing team's office Mondays through Fridays between the hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Also, you can give us a call at 448-3282 or 448-3283, same times and days mentioned, except holidays.
It's always a better choice. My one and only station. DBS Radio.
Give me brass. This is not a sport, but we know it's their favorite game, and they will do anything to win. Some will steal and cheat, have the whole nation at their feet, and they're doing anything to win. Never mind how they say they love and care, like a womanizer, that is sweet words in your ear. Never mind how much they are appealing for fair play. Some of them are so dishonest in every way. And don't think for 1 second that we are their priority. Some of them will use we and abuse we. Then leave us in misery. Don't matter if they're red, yellow, green or blue. Don't trust some of them, what they say they'll do. Man, they play in politics. Before they get in, they talk the best game. As soon as they win, they do win the same. They just play in politics. Acting like the people is their concern, but they only care for their own. Yes, they play in politics. Telling lies to discredit each other, to promote their own agenda. They just play in politics. And it's such a shame that the country get this way. We only have a few good men patriotic all the way. Some can say they're working for the country's benefit, but in the long run, they was only looking for their pockets. One side goes attacking while the other playing defense, and they will do anything to win. Can't tell who is winning, but they all full of confidence. Yes, they're doing anything to win. In this game, there is no honor in truth. It's the things you know. This is what you can prove, and even if they're caught, red-handed in a lie. They will never admit to failure and step aside. They have no integrity, all they see is money, so they'll keep insisting and persisting. Why? In their quest to mama guy. A captain of the former opposing team, they say was guilty of match fixing, manipulating politics, playing politics. Check out the report.